Hello crew, welcome back to Vlog 19. Girls, would you like to come outside? We are going to water the garden together. There we go. And we're going to chit-chat for a bit. I know that was the name of one of the other things that I do on the channel, but I just wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit for this particular vlog. Don't really have much of anything to really update you guys on when it comes to ongoings here. So I figure come along, show you the garden a little bit. We've got the leeks harvested for the most part, dehydrated those down, and I have been using them in cooking, and they've added such a wonderful flavor to several of the beef dishes that I've made. It's been absolutely fantastic. So if you're not on my Instagram, you missed Tapestry, the little calico kitten that popped up here. No idea where she came from, but we did find her a lovely little home. I'll put the picture in there of her sleeping in the trunk of the tree. Absolutely scared the hell out of me because I couldn't find her. And then it was like, oh, she's in the tree. Okay. Had a rattlesnake under the house. So we opened up the grates that are in the foundation / skirting in hopes that he got out on his own. Although I did see an Arizona king snake leave out from underneath the house. So it's entirely possible that the problem was self-correcting. Oh, Dave is up on his elk hunt. And I very much hope that we do get an elk, because that will be very welcome. Anywhere from, if it's a small elk, 90 pounds after processing, up to 200. So you guys have to understand, here in Arizona, our elk don't get very big. And if you get drawn for an elk, and you get an elk, you don't get drawn for an elk ever again. You get one. The same with buffalo. We do have buffalo tags, but you have to have a lot of people, at least I think it's like 8 or 9 people that are in good shape that can help you backpack the meat out of the area. So, and if you get one, then you're done. You never get one again. You never get to buy a tag again. You've gotten your one, that's it, you're done. So, October 20th is today's date. By the way, I am recording those on October 20th. The jalapenos are doing really well. The tomatoes are existing. Blasted gnats. I don't remember if it popped up in a prior vlog, but my Dave got into another accident about a week and a half ago. It was after dark, and it was not clear that the road turned. So he went off of a... You're okay, Maggie? Yes, it's water. It's... Maggie's like, I want to lay in the sun. Let me lay in the sun, Mom. But it wasn't clear that the road changed direction. So him and the car went off a 4-foot embankment, and then it flattened back out again, and the front windshield is busted. It looks like the front passenger tire is gone as well. I gotta trade hands here. It might run. We don't know yet. Currently with Dave being on the elk hunt and work up in the northern part of Arizona, he's probably not going to be home for like 11 days. So we are down to one vehicle. That's the truck. And it needs tie rods replaced. We have to put new wheels on it that are a different size because early 1930s small trucks had 14-inch wheels. 14-inch wheels are pretty hard to find. So we got to upgrade it. We got to change it to 16-inch wheels. And as you can imagine, it's expensive. It's like $100 per wheel. And that's not including tires. That's not including new to us tires. Fucking gnats. Yeah. But yeah, the gnats are actually pretty good. It lets you know just how warm my fall has been. We're averaging lower 50s. But that's it. I don't think I watered that one yet. So I'm still having to water the garden and the tomatoes and everything pretty frequently. Things have been cranky here lately. I've been a bit cranky here lately. It's like, well, here's why. Here's why. It is warm. And I am fairly certain that I am now premenopausal. At 38. And that's a pretty big life change. Puberty, giving birth, and menopause are the biggest life changes that a woman goes through. And no amount of book reading, research, talking to older friends really prepares you for the changes that you go through when you have a child, when you have menopause. I mean, you can talk to 1,000 people. They can tell you what to expect all day long, but nothing really fully gets you emotionally or mentally ready for it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty freaking rough. So this morning I had the pleasure of being brought to laughter and talking to a good friend. And, you know, they were pointing some stuff out and chit-chatting about a few things. And the main point of the call was to tell me, hey, you're doing a great job in taking control of your emotional responses right now, which means a lot because I have always had a problem with anger. Come on. Joshua, come on. Come on. Don't just sit there and look at me, dum-dum. Let's go. And anybody who's known me for a long time will tell you, yeah. But, you know, given several of my life experiences, the ocean of anger and grief that I had is of no unknowable depth and size. Because, yeah. And sometime in 2019, 2020, 2021, that I made a conscious decision after being scolded many, many times by friends who've known me for a long time that I wasn't communicating very well, that I wasn't letting people know what I was dealing with. And I wasn't sure it was making that much of a difference. So I decided sometime in 2019, 2020, 2021, right in somewhere in those 3 years, that I was going to start trying to be concise about what I was dealing with. And the reason why this pops up is because even though it was said in passing, my friend, as part of our conversation this morning, he mentioned that I was communicating more. I was talking to people more. And that might have been a mishear. But, you know, it was you're talking to more people. You're communicating. And that kind of stuck with me a little bit. And I was sitting chewing on it, and I realized that part of that is because I started trying to actually tell people what was going on. You know, if I seemed like I was cranky, I was trying to explain that, well, I'm dealing with XYZ. I have, you know, this thing going on, and this thing going on, and this thing going on. And I didn't think it was making that much of a difference. I really didn't. But apparently, it's making enough of a difference that it is very noticeable from what I'm told. Like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, I'm messing with something. Give me a second. There we go. Put you guys on a stand here real quick. But I wasn't really honestly sure about whether or not the effort to actually explain to people what I was dealing with, what was going on, was going to help. But as I started making a concerted effort to be concise without subtext or nuance, because trying to understand that shit when somebody overuses it is just exhausting. Trying to put it into things I'm telling people is exhausting. So it very much became one of those, I'm just going to be blunt. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit, because that takes away from what I'm trying to get done. So when I started actually telling people, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. So if I'm grumpy or whatnot, or cranky or angry, this is why. This is what I've got going on in the background, to the extent that I can share it with people. And when I started doing that, it started crystallizing what I was dealing with for myself. It made it a lot easier for me to look at the problem and go, okay, this is why I'm having the emotional response to it now that I've put it into as concise, precise of wording as I can. This is why I'm mentally reacting to it that way. And now that I've put it into a written format, verbal format, I can do something about it a little bit better, because at that point it usually crystallized the steps and the little actions that I needed to take in order to deal with the problem. Which is why I'm still a little frustrated with the vehicles, because I don't have much of an action plan. I don't have an action tree with the two vehicles, because they all need repairs. Hi, baby. They all need some repairs. So But that I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest things that sticks with me out of this month's events, is making sure that I remember to stay concise and precise in talking about what is going on in my life to my friends and my family, to the extent that is permissible for them to know. Because there's still a lot of things that me and Dave have talked about and we're dealing with that only close family and friends know about, which is, I think, like 3, maybe 4 people for some of the things. But that's because it would be inappropriate for more than those 4 people to know. And always making sure that boundary is seen and recognized is pretty important. But as long as I remember that, I have a feeling that it'll be a bit easier as things progress, because for all of my older ladies out there and older gentlemen who have dealt either directly or indirectly, tangentially with menopause, you know how rough those times and those years are. And as long as I can remember to be concise, I think I'm going to be, it's going to make things a little bit easier, because when I'm having a really bad day because of my menopause in the future, just articulating that, hey, I'm having a rough day, my menopause is kicking my butt, and, I'm cranky, I'm tired, I'm sorry. And I guess that's also a bit of advice that I'm going to extend to all of my friends who deal with their own mental health beasties. Maybe part of the problem is that you've not distilled things down to the rawest to a very concise, precise thing. And when I say precise, I mean not something as well, I'm depressed because everything in the world is bad. Are you depressed because everything in the world is bad, or are you depressed because you've not been letting yourself get enough sleep, or you've not been letting yourself get enough nutrition, or you're depressed because you've not talked to anyone because you actually need a little bit of help, with artificial happy brain chemicals. It very much, things need to be more precise in what you're dealing with. I think that was probably one of the biggest shifts, was I am stressed out because I am upset with the car situation, or I am stressed out because for a couple of months there, our bi-weekly paychecks were 40 hours or less. And a homestead did not get much done. Precisely identifying what makes a lot of that noise that leaves me angry and tired and upset. Working on that is still going to be a progress. Like, I've got a long way to go in dealing with all that. And I know that I am always going to have a level of anger in almost everything I do. And there's not really a lot I can do about that besides just let that anger flow. And when it is flowing, do things that are constructive. And when I need to grieve, grieve. Because I've been doing a lot of that too. But that's today's vlog. We'll probably keep the vlogs to this kind of format and this kind of content just because there's not a lot going on yet, and that's actually been one of the things that has taken the biggest hit this year from all of the stress, from all of the noise, is my creativity on these formats has taken such a massive freaking smacking. It is not even funny. I've been struggling to start and finish crochet projects, and it's just not fun. It's just not fun. So that is it for the vlog today, guys. My hope is here, once things let up a little bit more, that I'll be able to get a lot of filming done for the chit chats. And yeah, but we'll see. Like I said, the creativity aspects I've really struggled with this year. But hopefully all of that will get taken care of as I let the year progress, and as I let myself just go, okay, you know what? I don't feel like being creative, so I'm not going to be. I don't have to be. I'm not obligated. I do not demand that I hold the obligation to myself to be creative. When I want to be, when I can be, I will be. And by taking that off of my back, taking that stress off of myself, I think is going to help for the rest of this year, because we got 2.5 months left, and I would rather finish the year going, whew. All right, we're through that. Let's get into the next one. So, anyways, thank you for sharing your time with me today. Hug your loved ones tight. Take care of yourself. I'll see you guys in the next video, which is going to be a bullet journaling collections video. I have an idea for it. I've just been a little uncertain as to how to present it, because it's a little bit of a heavy one. So I will let you guys know when I get into that. And yeah. Bye, guys.